What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin. You're here with Zach Stone and I for the Friday Weekly Market Watch, where we go over Lorcana news, meta trends, and card prices. My fellow Lorcana Goons, Illumineers, it's Valentine's Day. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend with that very special someone if you celebrate. And if you guys don't need to tell somebody how you feel about them, check out these Valentine's cards we made for Twitter and Instagram through the Lorcana Goons efforts. We have Baymax, we have Daisy Duck, Baymax more like Baymax. This is probably one of my favorites, Zach. This Ursa Deceiver, I would never deceive you. A bunch of
Oh,
them on our Twitter. I hope you, and then you sweep me off my hooves. Yeah, well, like I said, check out our
oh my
Instagram.
gosh.
Check out our Instagram, check out our Twitter. There's a bunch of those right there to celebrate the Valentine's Day weekend with your fellow loved ones. Awesome weekend to let people know how you feel about them, whether it be your friends, family, or significant other. Check this out. Lorcana released a pair of cards, announced a pair of cards today, a Minnie Mouse and a Mickey Mouse. Very cool, Zach, don't you think?
Yeah, I like how it's kind of released on Valentine's Day. They're bringing the couples in, and it's kind of cute. Another thing, guys, don't forget the local game stores in your area. Some of them are offering promotional pack rush events for you and your significant other, so you can go down, play in a pack rush event, and just you get to keep the cards, which I think is really cool.
It's
And
it's free,
I like
right?
that
Like
some of the stores.
it's a
Yeah,
free package event.
absolutely. Yeah. You just gotta check which stores are doing it, and some of them are offering like other additional things on top of it. But yeah, it's a nice little thing you get to do. You can just go in at your own time and have fun, and that's what this game's all about. But yeah, this new Minnie Mouse is actually a interesting card. It's a legendary, and I like that we're getting some early legendary reveals. Like it's more top heavy around this time of the year, and I like these cards because they always get to dictate like where the rest of the set and the color combinations go. But it's a 2 cost uninkable 1/2. It has no lore value, but whenever you play a character, she'll gain a lore this turn. So every character you play gives her a lore count, and I like that. But what kind of color combinations do you think this would work with, Kevin?
Probably something that can spam a lot of characters like Amethyst. I feel like if you're playing this with Amethyst and a Hyper Aggro deck, you can play a bunch of one drops like Diablos, Brooms, and Chernobygs of characters that are easily forgettable. You know what I mean? That way she can quest to as high as infinite. Realistically, if you have 7 ink, you can play 7 characters and she can quest for 7. I do think that this card is really cool, mainly because is this the first 2 cost legendary we have, or one of the first low cost legendaries we have? I don't know.
No, there's Oswald.
Oswald, you're right. Oswald is a 2 cost legendary. I guess there's not that many low cost legendaries in Lorcana. And I think that is really cool. We're starting to get some really powerful low cost characters. She is uninkable. And again, like this card is only gonna work if you can combo it off with more characters. But I do think there's some potential there. Same thing with potential for the Mickey Mouse Inspirational Warrior. So like I said, they announced 2 characters today so far, Mickey and Minnie on Valentine's Day. This is a Dreamborn hero, a 2 cost uninkable, 1 strength, 1 willpower that says during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character for free. By the way, Zach, this is not once per turn. So in the future of Lorcana, if you ever create some crazy combos to, clear 2 characters with this Mickey twice, you can play 2 characters for free. But this is a card that could be problematic depending on how the format turns out. We already have some people cooking up some combos like a Lorcana player. Shout out them. They're the website that we've been using for a lot of the card reveals and the videos you've seen this week. But you can use this Mickey Mouse in combination with Cogsworth to give the Mickey Mouse rush that same turn. And if you clear something with Mickey Mouse, then you can play something as high cost as 9, like these Goofies or Rafikis, or 8 cost characters like the John Silver or Gantu that we have in these color combinations, right? But there's a lot of cards that were revealed, Zach Stone. We're not going to go over all of them, but from this Lorcana player front page, is there any that stand out to you?
Yeah, I want to talk about that Gontu Experienced Enforcer. It's a 4 cost uninkable 2/4, and it reads close. When you play this character, characters can't exert to sing songs until the start of your next turn. And don't get any ideas because each player will have to pay 2 more ink to play actions or items. But it doesn't apply to singing songs. And I like this card a lot because my first thoughts were Steel Fossa. Steel Foss is a deck that can get away with just playing absolutely no items or actions or songs. you're basically able to ignore or nullify the downfalls of this card, because you can't play this card in a deck like Steel Song. I initially thought that you can't, because on 4 when you play it, you're not able to sing Whole New World, which is what the deck wants to do. And then after that, any other action or song you play, unless you're singing it, is going to cost you more. So it's a card that doesn't make sense in a deck like that. But like a possibly purple steel mid range like control variant or a steel Fossa deck could get away with this card. And honestly, it stood out the most right away just because of like, on curve with Pete.
Yeah, there also is a world where you play aerial, or you have an aerial already on the board. You whole new world the aerial and you draw into this Gantu and you play it after, right? That way your opponent can't sing their songs on that turn. But I get what you're saying. Probably some really good synergy with that Mufasa deck, especially when it comes to how you go about your decision making of sequencing. Because now that you have cards like this in play, if you decide to challenge a Mufasa and then this Gantu comes out and then you realized, ooh, I could have sang a song before I did that. You're gonna miss out on the ability to sing sing a song because the Gantu was the card off of the Mufasa hit. So new characters coming into the game which are gonna change I think the metagame and how we view it, how we play it. I wanted to talk about this Queen of Hearts because I feel like hands down most people can agree that this is probably one of the best artworks in the set next to that other Elsa card who got released. This is a dual ink Queen of Hearts unpredictable bully. 5 cost uninkable, 2 strength, 6 willpower, a shift 3 character, which is pretty nice because we have the Queen of Hearts with Rush that everybody plays right now in some of the decks. Whenever another character is played, put a damage counter on them. Very interesting, very interesting. So if you play any character, whether it be the opponent or you play a character, 1 damage counter lands on that character. I believe this gets around resist because you're not dealing the damage, you're just putting the damage counter on them. So Beast Tragic Hero, if your opponent's gonna play a sad beast, it immediately comes in with damage on it, which is gonna stop that effect. Very interesting card right here. Has some high potential. It is a dual ink though, so you cannot abuse this with something like Rapunzel. You're gonna have to play this in Ruby Emerald, and in Ruby Emerald, I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. But there are a lot of cards in that color combo that say stuff like draw a card when you challenge a damaged character, etc., etc. So wonderful artwork. I really hope to see full arts in not maybe not this set, but in future sets of Lorcana that aren't enchanted rares, because I would like to see this in a full art. If it's an enchanted rare, that's awesome. But I don't want to have to spend like two, three, $4,000 opening up case and case and case just to pull the enchanted rare I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I just feel like they could do some full arts that are not so hard to pull, right? But let's get on into some market trends, Zach Stone, because all these card reveals, they're impacting the market already. The set's not even out yet. It doesn't come out for like almost a month, but people are already planning and pre-planning what decks they're gonna build, what they're gonna make, and there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of information going around on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, like, oh, these are some crazy combos with this deck. Look what I thought of, and I feel like a lot of people kind of tend to fall for the hype a little bit. There's no tournaments going on. Set champs are literally over, but somehow Maui Half Shark has gone from a $30 card to a $55 card. This is a non-foil. This is a non-foil Half Shark right now. 54.18 lowest verified by Cardboardia Online. Zach, before I get your opinion, my opinion is always wait until the format starts. Like, stop buying into the hype, guys. Like, there's no tournaments left for Azurite Sea. There's zero reason, in my opinion, to buy a Maui Shark right now if you don't already have them. And you don't even know if Ruby Sapphire is going to be the best deck. Sapphire is getting a lot of support, don't get me wrong, but there's a world where Sapphire Emerald, Sapphire Steel is like a tier 0 deck. They've only released 100 out of like 200 some cards, and people are already buying the Maui Half Sharks for $20 more than last week without even seeing the entire set list. I just feel like that's way too rash. You don't know what's going to be popping next format, right?
Definitely, it's very, treading on some scary waters here. Not to, make a shark reference, but I would very much, remain calm during this time. I don't think you should panic buy. But some people want to like look at this as an opportunity to get rid of some of their Maui sharks, and I know cold foils are something to really consider. We're seeing the lowest available copies at $71 with a couple bucks shipping. You can get 3 of them there, but they don't have consistent prices, guys. So keep in mind that none have sold at this price range yet. The highest that I think we've seen a sale is around $60. And that is something to always consider when you're picking up these kind of cards. You can list prices, you can list cards for whatever prices you want. Nothing's stopping you from listing this as a $500 card. However, is it going to sell at $500? I don't believe it will, at least not right now. And that is something to always consider. But I wouldn't even say that this card isn't worth $70. I would just say that no one's willing to buy it yet. But there is a world, or somebody might just decide to list it a little bit cheaper than, some of these prices right now, and that's what's going to close a deal. Yeah, guys, and a deal right now are these Rapunzel gifted with healings. We're seeing the lowest copies right now at $45 with $1 shipping, and that's only for one of them. They kind of go up to another $5 price point, and then from there we're going to see another $5 price point. So we're not seeing many copies below $56, $57 for verified sellers, and that's something to really keep in mind today, guys, that this Rapunzel gifted with healing is definitely a hot commodity, and a Japanese copy is on TCG Player for $42. So if you're considering Japanese cards for your deck, go ahead and buy this one today.
Japanese, I think, is actually relevant right now. It's hard to find first chapter in general, and if you can save around 10 to 12 ish dollars by buying a Japanese Rapunzel as opposed to an English Rapunzel, maybe that's the way you want to go because you can use them in the English tournaments. But there's only a couple cold foil Rapunzels left, Zach Stone. There's 5 listings for a cold foil Rapunzel. All the non-verified sellers have them for more than $100. The cheapest one is 135 with $5 shipping, and then the lowest verified is $150 for that's one copy. One copy of the cold foil Rapunzel gifted with healing from the first chapter. I don't know why this is happening. It just seems like there's no first chapter singles to go around. If you want first chapter English stuff, you have to pay like a lot for the booster box right now. It's like $350. A Japanese first chapter has been flying off the shelves for me. I don't know about you, Zach, how it is at Frankincense, but for sure a lot of people have been buying Japanese first chapter. People who I know who they have to go live in Japan for like active duty service and stuff, they've been buying first chapter because they just learned like, oh heck, I can't play my English cards over there. And then people who have been like, hey, I've never been able to crack first chapter because I just started playing Lorcana after like set 3. They've been buying Japanese first chapter because now it's their opportunity to get some of these cards, and they're still pretty expensive. So if you do have some of the Japanese first chapter stuff, it is selling for less than its English counterpart, but not too much, not too much less in my opinion. I want to talk about the strength of a Raging Fire today. We have a pretty good deal right here by Front Range Gaming. They have only 4 sales if you want to support them, a non-verified seller, but it's $7.50 plus $5 shipping. It's around $12 when the lowest verified is $15 for a non-foil strength of a Raging Fire. That's pretty nice. Cold foils. Check this out as well, Zach. There's only 10 listings. Lowest verified is $26 plus $1.27 shipping. So that's around $27. Then it immediately jumps to $32. $32 already for the next verified listing for a cold foil strength of a Raging Fire. This card's getting pretty old too. It's about a year, more than a year old already. It came out in set 2. So same thing. I feel like set 2 is kind of slept on. The booster boxes are still pretty cheap. They're about MSRP like 140, 150. And you can pull some pretty nice cards in there like some of these, right?
Yeah, and then Kevin, remember when this card was like less than $5 for a normal and less than like $8 to $12 for a foil? Like those were the deals back in the day. But don't forget, guys, this is a one of in the Ursula's Deep Return Illuminator's Quest. So it is more available like as a single than like other cards are, but it's interesting to note that the price point of a card that's been like more released or more produced, it doesn't really like show or reflect that, right? Like the demand or the need to have this card in your card pool because of purple steel, sapphire steel, amber steel, even green steel. Like every steel deck is might consider playing like multiple copies of this card, and I like that the card that's been like around for this long is at a healthy price point.
Yeah, great card in the meta, definitely a meta staple. It goes very well with Cinderella Ballroom Sensation in your Amber Steel decks, and we're starting to see that. I feel like Amber's getting a lot of support in this next set too. We're seeing Cinderella Ballroom Sensation sell for close to basically $5 now, 475 with $1.27 shipping by Jay Balti, lowest verified, then $5 shipping included by Civi's Game Citadel. Even the cold foils for these are getting pretty scarce. This card's also from set 2, by the way, so maybe you want to start picking up some of your set 2 cold foils before they start shooting up in price like Madam M Fox does, right? This is a rare cold foil Cinderella selling for $12.99 with $2.50 shipping, basically $15 in my opinion for a cold foil Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. Be Prepared's also going up in price. I think people are a little overconfident on how good Ruby Sapphire is going to be next format. I think right now it's for Azurite Sea, I would call it the best deck, the most powerful deck, and we're getting a bunch of Sapphire support, which doesn't make me feel like it's not going to be really good next format. But so maybe Be Prepared is a safe buy. They were less than $10 for a very long time. Today, 10.99 Nachos cardboard, then $12 by Little Root Games. So you're gonna have to pay $12 for a non-foil beat prep. That's from the first chapter. Cold foil beat preps are getting close to $30. This is a German cold foil for $27, and in the next verified English is $26.99 with the dollar shipping. Then it's $29.50 shipping included. So not quite at $30 yet, but if you want to go through some non-verified sellers, they have them for $25 still. Once you get past those, though, you're getting very close to $30 for a cold foil. Be prepared. Elsa, Spirit of Winter. Look at this graph, bro. This just keeps going up and up. We got some Blurple support. A new Elsa was announced as well. Don't know if that's making an impact on this card, but I figure, hey, if you're gonna play the dual ink Blurple Elsa, you might as well play the best Elsa there is, which is the Spirit of Winter. Quick Save Games LLC 1671 with a $1.27 shipping. That's around $18. Then 1749 with a dollar shipping by Shadow Lore. So about $18, almost 20 for this Elsa Spirit of Winter. And the cold foils never disappoint, in my opinion. They were selling for 50. Now you can find them for 50 again. 49.66 by Gem Mint Cards in Florida. $50 for a cold foil Elsa from the first chapter, and they've pretty much. I feel like they've been that price for the longest time since release. For during the first chapter, these were like $50, $60. They came down a lot, but now they're back up at almost $50, right?
Yeah, I don't think it ever hit like below a $30 price point ever, but there was a point where this was like $100 cold foil, and it was very, very like, play very heavily played in Ruby M during set one days. And it's good to see that a card like this is still remaining at a healthier price point. It just goes to show that like the longer this game goes, like some of these cards might, come in and out, but the prices and the scarcity, like it always determines like where you're going to find these cards, and more support always dictates like how prices can go. Like news affects like the market, and that's how trends work. Robinhood is kind of following suit with all this steel support, right? You're seeing this card was around 25 $26 for weeks, and now we're seeing unverified sellers dip just below $30 at like 27 $28. For your lowest copy of a verified seller, I believe it goes up to like 33 $32. And that again is a good thing to see because this card is a very strong card. It's hard to deal with and hard to answer if it's shifted on turn three. Steel decks always have a difficult time dealing with it. There's a little bit more tools that there than there were before. But Medusa is like not really played right now. And I love this card because you get to remove something from play and gain lore. And I've always felt like cards like that are really good. I've always liked Takar from set one. So Robin Hood is basically the same thing, except a little bit more aggressive and replaces itself when banished in a challenge.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were hyped on the Robin Hood because of the Mushu that was announced. If you haven't seen that, go watch our other video. Go on Lorcana Player, like we said. But that Mushu basically lets you gain 4 lore instead if you resolve this Robin Hood, and a lot of people are kind of banking on that to be a good strategy. Cold foil Robin Hoods are only $32, $33, and the non foils are getting very close to $30. I think you should just get the cold foils. The Robin Hood also has an enchanted rare, so that's one of the reasons why those cold foils and non foils tend to stay the same price. Harem Flavor Sham. Everybody's talking about Sapphire. I feel like getting Flavor Shams right now that they're still around they're actually going up because I was selling them for $3 and now I might have to start selling them for 4 because we have those verified 218 with the dollar shipping, then 275 after two listings right there with the $1.27 shipping. So very close to $4. They're rares. They're widely available because I know they come out in starter decks and they're pretty easy to find, but I just feel like if everybody's hyping up Sapphire, this $3 card is going to be a $5 card very soon. Cold foil flavor shams, yeah, have been coming down in the last couple months because they used to be more than $20. Right now they're on the lower end, 19.99 by Refined Gaming LLC. I mean, even if you're playing 3 flavor shams like Din Kong in that kind of deck, it's still a very important, still a very relevant card. And if Sapphire is going to be the best deck, maybe pick up the cold foil flavor flaves right now. Bell, strange but special, shooting up a little bit in price. These were less than $10. Zach let me know that today you can find them for $13. And Void Gaming 12.89, lowest verified with shipping included. So that's about $13 for a non-foil Bell from the first chapter. Cold foil Bells are going to be selling for less than 35 by Top Deck Keep. They got 4 of them for you. So if you want to place it, you can get some deals right there by Top Deck Keep. Shout out you guys. I actually met the owner of Top Deck Keep at Nationals. That was really cool. So shout out them. Really nice guy. Hades Infernal Schemer today selling for $12 now. These were less than $10. These were less than $10 for the longest time. People were not playing Hades. I think you can play this in Blurple. I think if you're gonna build a green blue strategy, you're probably gonna want to play this Hades. It's like the only card in Sapphire that has an ability that's like spot removal. It's this and Let It Go. Those are like the only cards in Sapphire that are good removal, right? Because I guess you have Down the Rabbit Hole, but that card's kind of booty. Not my favorite card. 11.99, like I said, and that's pretty much the price for Hades. Plenty of listings for $12 right there for a non-foil Hades from the first chapter. $33 for a non-verified Hades, and then $35 what it's looking like for a near mint. 32 to 34.57. There you go. Lorcana. That's going to be the lowest verified for a near mint Hades. So many light plays, but I guess that's what happens when it's from the first chapter, right? By that, it's been some time. It's been some time, so it's going to get harder and harder to find some near mint cards from the first chapter. Clarabelle. Light on her hooves. A lot of people hyping up the blue-green synergy with some of these Emerald Sapphire Dual Ink cards we're getting. So we're seeing Clarabelle reach as high as $18, $19 again. These were around $15 to $14 for the longest time. And now today lowest verified is CCG Professionals for $15.99 with $2.50 shipping. So that's like $18.50. R&R Gaming $18.50. Not quite $20 yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $20 very soon. Cold foil Clarabelles are $20 on the dot if you go through a non-verified seller. That's a deal right there. Shipping included $20. You're gonna have to pay $18 for a non-foil anyways. $19.50 with a dollar for a cold foil Clarabelle. I like that. They're going up a little bit. They're going up very, very slightly, very slowly. Like I said, hype in the format. Zach, are you gonna buy any Clarabelles right now?
Kevin, something that I always like to mention and what I reference to is when everyone underestimated Clarabelle when it first was released. We felt like this card was going to be a lot better than what people initially thought. And you took the dive and bought some in when they were really low. So I probably wouldn't sleep on this card. This card hasn't really gone below $15, so for it to kind of steadily go back up to 20, kind of will show that like this card has potential and always will be something to consider when new sets come out and new cards are released. But I am not like looking to pick up like an egregious amount. Like it's a card that I like to be stocked in my inventory. It is a staple. But yeah, at the moment I'm currently like okay.
A lot of Clarabelle hype back then, and it did kind of fall down, but I do think it's a card you have to respect. Prince John's Mirror is getting talked about a lot on the internet, on Lorcana forums. I feel like a lot of people are really considering how they're going to be able to utilize this with some of these new cards like Ink Geyser. So the cold foils are more than $2 today if you guys were trying to get some of these shiny cards before they go up in price. We just saw people talking about the potential of that Mickey Mouse with this Cogsworth. I've been seeing a lot of people mention that in the last couple hours actually on Twitter and on Facebook. So if people are thinking about it, I get the feeling that there's going to be hype behind it, and it's possibly a good play. So right now these Cogsworths are less than $1 plus some extra shipping. So 50 cents, 60 cents with a 127 shipping. So you're gonna have to pay around $1 or two each, but maybe you can find some people selling playsets for a little bit cheaper right now. There are common also, so usually common foils don't go any higher than like $5. I think the most expensive common foil we have is Brawl or like Friends on the other side in Popsicle, and those are all like $5. So just some food for thought there. Pete Games. Oh, the new Emerald Pete we're getting is crazy, right? So cold foil Pete's are just shooting up. These were around $7 a couple days ago, and now you have to pay $10. And there was a point in time, Zach, if you remember, where Pete's were more than $10. They were selling for around $12, $13, and it might get there again depending how popular this Emerald Steel Pete combo is. But Lorcana Addict has them today. Lowest verified $9 with a dollar shipping. So we're charging $10 for those at the booth. If you guys want to come visit us, visit me anyways. I'm at Ninja Exchange in Carlsbad every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now. And if you want to visit Zach, you can go say hi to Zach Stone in the City of Industry at Frankenstein's collectibles. We both have the boots where we have a bunch of stuff, collectibles, cards, anything you need for sale there. But Zach, I want to talk about this DLC. Oh, not this DLC promo. Oops, we'll skip that one. We'll get the ones at the end because I want to talk about Calhoun. Calhoun, the Marine Sergeant, $11 lowest verified today by Jay Balti. This one going up more than $10 now. And I think this is because of that same Mushu synergy people were talking about, right? Like the ability to have steel cards that net you lore, and have that Mushu to give them resist or something, or to just kind of let them survive or have more of powerful challenge situation is pretty cool. Cold foil, wow, cold foil Calhoun's lowest verified, $20. A bunch of non-verified sellers have them for around $17, but almost $20 for a cold foil Calhoun now. Wow.
Yeah, and another thing too that the other card that was revealed is that purple steel action, the six
Yes.
cost that
Yep.
exerts all opposing characters, and makes all your characters Calhouns and Robin Hoods that are currently in play. So when you start challenging and banishing them, you're gonna gain 2 lore, and then these cards are the ones you have in play. You'll gain 4. And that's very strong. Like it can lead to a position in the game where you can slowly build a board of like Calhoun's, Robin Hoods, and other big guys like even Lawrence's, right? You set up a nice board. You can even peek to ensure that these cards are not tampered with. They might be trying to mirror and match your board, and then in one turn you exert their stuff, swing into everything, gain a bunch of lore, and they're just they're unable to win the game. Like it's very strong, and I think that there's a very good chance somebody can build a deck like that.
I can see it. I definitely like that new Amethyst Steel card that was revealed. I forgot about that one. It's a really cool card. It's an action, uninkable, 6 cost, I believe, and it, like I said, it says exert all the opposing characters, and then something something gain some lore when you challenge them. Pretty cool dual ink card. I can't wait for set 7 to be released. Clarabelle Ladder Hooves, the enchanted rare. I feel like since the other Clarabelle was kind of going up in price a little bit, this one also had to naturally see some buys this week from $90 to $115 in the last couple days. Galactic Inklands is the lowest verified today, 115. Then 122 by Brady the Greatest. Then 125 by Over the Top Games LLC. So if you wanted this Clarabelle at less than $100, they are all gone now. You're gonna have to pay more than $100 for an enchanted Clarabelle Light on her hooves. I really like this card, and I still stand by the opinion that Shimmering Skies had the best enchanted rares by far. We need to talk about these DLC promos before we call it a day, Zach, because on Monday we were seeing them just shoot up in price. The Cinderella, first of all, we didn't see any sales for more than $100, but today we're seeing sales at more than $100. 117, 105 is looking like the most recent sales prices. So your Cinderellas are more than $100. But now this is where the real test comes in. Let's see if any of these sell, because lowest verified is at 189, 190. I'm sure on eBay or OfferUp you can still find them for a little bit cheaper. But on TCG Player, lowest verified is 189 now. Will it sell for that price? We don't know yet. We'll see. I want to mention the Let It Go promo from the DLCs right now on TCG Player. The only listings are gonna be around $1,000. Somebody actually bought one for 999. That was 4 days ago. But they used to be selling for around 800 to 850 on TCG Player, as you can see here, and all those are gone now. So now the lowest verified is 999 with 98 cents by Underworld Cards. So if you have your DLC Let It Go promo still, I think these are gonna start selling for $1,000 raw. I think people forget that this is an Elsa card. Technically, Elsa is on this card, you know. And this is out of all the promos you get from the DLCs, you cannot get this one non-foil. Same thing with Dragonfire, but you can get the Rapunzel and the Cindy non-foil. You cannot get this Let It Go full art non-foil. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. It's an Elsa card, and I think it's a really cool promo. I'm a little sad that I didn't hold on to one, because now that I look at it, I'm like, man, this is a cool card. But shout out anybody who has these and who's been holding them. Rapunzel Gifted with Healing, these DLC promos are still selling for more than $100+ 150, $200 is the recent sale. Actually, we have 2 of them that sold on the 9th for $200, and we saw that on Monday. But that was the most recent sale. Nobody's buying them for more than 200. So all these listings at 230, 250, they're just listings right now. But if you have these non-foil Rapunzels, they're selling for 200 in the US. I've been seeing a lot of people in Europe say that in Europe they're still only $100. So I don't know, maybe you have some European friends who want to hook you up with these, because right now in the United in this side of the world, they're double the price for whatever reason. But Zach Stone, I'm looking forward to DLCs. More DLCs being announced. I'm looking forward to set 7 cards being revealed. What are you looking forward to as we call it an end to this Friday Market Watch?
Well, I'm looking forward to the rest of today. Today's Valentine's Day, so that is something that I'm excited about, as well as I'm much looking forward to the rest of the set to be revealed. I'm already thinking of ideas, but I never like to go so far in depth without seeing all the cards and all the information. So I'm taking it just very slowly, but I'm already excited and I can't wait to start playing these new cards, and we can't wait to start showing you guys some of these decks that we have already thought of. So drop in the comments below what new reveals you're more excited about. If you guys have watched these videos to the end, we really appreciate and always support all the support you guys do. And the Goon Squad community is amazing. If you're not in our Discord, please get involved and join. It's very active. We're posting these new card reveals. If you see something that hasn't been posted, share it in there. It's always good to kind of get more cards and all the information out there. I love to see the goons cook.
Yeah, and throw some ideas down there of any card combos that you may be thinking of. We love to see that in the comments and Discord as well. But until then, our Lorcana Goons, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we'll see you goons next time.